She woke up and found herself in an unfamiliar place. She became uneasy because she didn't know where she was, nor did she recall how she got there. She glanced around, hoping to find a way out. As she tried to stand up, she realized that her hands and feet were bound with ropes. Then suddenly, the door to the room opened and someone stepped into the room. She became horrified when she realized who it was that was in the room with her. At that moment, she remembered being chased by her worst nightmare. After entering the room, he closed the door behind him and then he stood there for a moment as he looked at her angrily. He kept his eyes on her as he started to move toward her. She started to tremble whenever she noticed the knife that was in his hand. "Why did you bring me here?" she asked. He didn't respond. "What do you want from me?" she asked. He didn't respond. "I never did anything to you. Please, just stay away from me. Leave me alone," she said. The man did not listen to her as he continued to move toward her. When he approached her, he got down on his knees in front of her. He was so close to her that his face was just inches away from hers. She turned her face, even as she trembled. She couldn't stand to see his face. Just then, there was the loud sound of an alarm. The man became irritated and he glanced in the direction where the sound was coming from before he looked at her again and spoke. "Don't move," he said. He then stood up and left the room. While he was gone, she tried to get loose from the ropes that bound her hands and feet. Then someone else came into the room. It was the young man, and he had a knife in his hand. She tried to scoot away from him as he moved toward her. "Please, try to stay calm. I'm here to help you," the young man said. When he approached her, he cut the ropes from her wrists and ankles. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Why did you leave? I told you I was trying to help you," the young man said. Then he glanced at the doorway before he looked at her again. "He's occupied for now. This is your chance to escape. There's an emergency exit down the hall. Since there's already an alarm going off, he may not notice it if you choose to go out that exit," the young man said. "Wait, you're letting me go?" she asked. "Yes, please go and never come back," the young man said. "What about you?" she asked. "Don't worry about me. Just leave and don't look back," the young man said. "But you said that you were afraid of him," she said. "Please go before he comes back." The young man said, "Come with me," she said. "I can't," the young man said. "Why not?" she asked. "I have to stop him. If I leave now, nothing will ever change. I must find a way to put an end to this." The young man said, "I'm sorry for not believing you," she said. "Don't worry about that now. Just go. Your car is parked outside. Don't let him see you leaving, or he will follow you, and he won't stop until he captures you," the young man said. "Thank you," she said. With that, she rushed out of the room and then she headed toward the exit that the young man told her about. She refused to look back as she continued to run toward the door. When she opened it, she ran out and rushed toward her car. When she approached it, she got into it, and then she started it and drove away. She did not look back as she left the horrible place behind.